Hello, I'm Marcus V. Calvert, and welcome to Tales Unlimited. Today's Batchery prompt is number 41. What if there was a dating app to connect lonely singles with ghosts? That's what I get for watching commercials. Okay, so I clearly was watching, I don't know, something and went with that, or it just hit me. Wow. Uh, that one's kind of stumping. Um, Feel free to go off prompt on this bad boy, but let's say you actually do it in prompt, having a blind date. Um, Guy's sitting there. He's sitting there in a restaurant, and the lady shows up. Oh, I'm so terribly. I'm sorry, late. Blah, 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 blah. And they're having a nice date, and they're having a nice chat. Da 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 da. And waiter comes by, and she's like, "Oh, please, table, da da da." And she's talking to herself, and every so often the waiter's looking at her weird. Everyone's looking at her weird because no one else can see her date. Tell the story from the perspective of the dude. He's like, "Oh wow, she is beautiful. She is amazing. She is da 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 da." And by the end of the story, you let the reader know, okay, the guy is dead. He's a ghost, and she's very much alive. And the app is, oh, that's it. What if you? There's an app for people who die without finding their soulmate. Like if you spend enough money before you die on the app, on the service, when your soulmate is born, you're literally pulled out. Like so when you die, you end up in their servers somewhere. You don't go up, you don't go down, no heaven, no hell, no purgatory. You end up in their servers. And it's not exactly a way to cheat the Reaper. I mean, you have to get vetted, of course. You can't be a creep. You have to be a decent person who'd normally go up. And the idea is you get to know your soulmate. Maybe your soulmate is not on this world of billions and billions of people. Maybe your soulmate is only four. Like you fill out the questionnaire and they run it through this techno mystical process. And what if you find out that, okay, you're 80 years old and your soulmate is only four and she's in like Kentucky? It's like, damn it. Okay, well, I guess we'll never meet normally. You fill out the app, you die. And okay, she grows up. When she hits, you even scribble the age you want to meet her at. So when she turns 28, she gets rather convincing, very persuasive message, basically to take this app. It's like you have been selected by Soulmate Industries, Soulmate, blah, 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 blah. Based on our descriptions, we think we have actually found your soulmate. Like someone actually comes to her door and says, "We think we've actually found your soulmate based on our analysis, and he'd very much like to meet you. Dinner, perhaps, such and such place, such a time. I know it's creepy, but trust us, this is probably for real." And the timing has to be right, basically age 28 after her worst breakup. Reasonable amount of time after her worst breakup. So she happens to be 28. She's in a dark, deep place. So she goes to the restaurant and she sits there and she meets this handsome guy. The app drops him in at his ideal age, let's say 32. And he's just, okay, he's a virile ghost. And they're talking, they're chitting, they're chatting. And yeah, good first date. He meets his soulmate. And at the end of it all, waiter's like, "Are you okay, lady? You're talking to yourself." And she's, "You don't see my date right here?" He's like, "No, no, I don't." And then he looks in the reflection because they're sitting by the window. The reflection, however, you can see the ghost, and the ghost is like, "Shut up, go, buzz off, dude. Don't make me get out of this chair," something like that. And he banks off. He's like, "Okay, by the way," he's like, "So let me get this straight. You're just too good to be true. Every guy I've ever dated has had a flaw." And the guy leans forward and says, "Well, I do have one little thing I should probably tell you. But the question is, would it work? Does love conquer all? Especially if the ghost can turn solid." And I'll just like keep it from getting too raunchy there. Okay, that's how I'd write it. How would you write it? And if you want to go off prompt, oof, oh, the different a different app for different things, like maybe anything from Spectral Bodyguard to Spectral Assassin to good old fashioned Spectral Prostitution to Spectral Lawyer, Spectral Spy, Spectral whatever. There's an app for any service. Maybe there's like a Fiverr for ghosts. It's like, you need anything done. Da-da. So this little kid gets on the app and basically hires like an anti-bully ghost. And, the bully's messing with him, and this kid who dies young but happens to be a karate savant is his bodyguard and follows him around. That's another way to maybe write these stories out if you're going off prompt. All right. So I am Marcus V. Calvert. This is Tales Unlimited. Please check out talesunlimited.net. That is where I keep the books. So also where I keep the podcasts. There's the Batchery podcast and the Disturbing Thought of the Day podcast. They're equally strange. Then there are the books. There's the Batchery series, 200 prompts, a little wisdom on writing, a way to make money writing books before you actually write the great American novel. And at the same time, you learn how to write it if you want to. But let's say you're a novelist, or you just want to come up with ideas for gaming ideas, or for stories, screenplays, fanfic, stuff like that. Well, there's something for everybody. And short story anthologies. Think New School Twilight Zone. 25 stories to a book. The themes are unlikely heroes, that's unheroic, or the Book of Schemes, which is schemes. And some of the stories are strange. Like, for example, there's a story in there called Ghost Pimp. That's all I'm going to say there. And then there is the novel series. Think Sin City with superpowers, set in a floating city, artificial, like fictional, of course, called Pillar City. Place so corrupt that heroes stay away. So corrupt that it is the superhuman crime capital of the world, and City Hall is its own mob. And the fate of the world is being determined here because a fixer, someone who supplies mercenaries, loses his multi-billion-dollar empire and is forced to fight crime as a joke. And seeing as he's just a suit, basically, with a bit of a gut and high cholesterol, they think he'll be dead in about days, if that. And that's book 1 of a 4-book series, and I'm working on a 5th. His background, his past, makes the Equalizer look like Little Mary Sunshine. Okay, till next time.